Hi there, art lovers and landlubbers. Ha ha! How you be? Your old mate, Captain Lucan Silly here. Ha ha! I be here at 8 bells in the afternoon on a Saturday. Why, you say? Because I'm going to give you some art tips. Art, art, art. Oh, I like the word art. It's like arft, ha ha, and ar, ha ha. That'd be right. But no, I'm going to help you with the art. Now, I don't be the best drawer and all that. And you might say the same thing. I can't draw, Captain, I can't draw. Well, what this class is about, right, is to give you a few little tips, right? Because, being captain, I need to be able to draw a bit so I can draw landmarks and such in the log, right? So we can record it so people going past will know, oh, that there bear, it looks like a rock. Looks like this bear, it looks like a rock here. We made a bit of turd here, otherwise we're going to run into a reef and stuff like that. So that's how we did it, the log. So you got to be able to get some basics here. Some people are naturals that can draw up big ships like this and all sorts of things. But me, I need to work at it, right? So I found if you break it down in its little composite parts, just a little bit, like if you can do some lines and some curves and stuff like that, you can put it together as a picture, right? Make your own little picture. So I thought, I'm going to see if I can do that in a form that'll help you guys there at home, right? So you can draw in your own things like that. So you break it all down. So I'm going to break it down into bits, and we're going to draw a picture, right? That's going to look more or less like our subject. And to help us with our subject, I've got my good mate back. Oh, here he is. Hi, that's him, Wilson the Parrot. Ha, my old mate. My old first mate, Wilson the Parrot's here to be our life model. Ha, he's taking his bloods off and everything. There he is. Ha, he's going to be posing for us. And we'll go all on dough and draw a picture of him, right? So we look mostly like him, I'm hoping, But, artist impression and all that. But generally, like with a log, if you get the shape of it, it's all good. Right? So, what do we need? Well, pretty much you just need some pencils for drawing and some paper, right? Some colouring pencils to colour in later. I don't have any colouring pencils here because I'm on a ship, right? So I didn't have any colouring pencils. But, if you get them and you can colour them in, so I'll just do it in grey and blacks and whites and all that kind of stuff, and you can work it out yourself. You can make whatever colours you like. You can go reds and stuff like him, green under the wings, all that sort of stuff. Or, we can just make your imagination go wild. But hopefully at the end, you'll have a parrot of your own that you can show, put up in your fridge and all that kind of stuff. And go, arr, this be Wilson. Or you can name it something else. You can name it something you like. Something other than Wilson, something more parroty like Terry. Terry the Parrot. Ah, that sounds like I should have called you Terry. No. All right. Okay. Anyway, you, way anchor, go get your paper and pencils, and I'll join you back here at the table for a little bit of drawing at the captain's table. Ha! We'll be having fun. I'm hoping. Avarice there, shipmates. How you be going? Well, you've been away. I've been gathering up some pencils, right? And a rubber. And also I gathered myself up a little black texture pen there because a couple of bits would look better if they're dark. But I ain't got any colour pencils here on the ship, right? Down here in the bilge, right? So I haven't done that. So I'm not going to colour mine in. I'll just do a black and white version with a bit of grey and writing a bit of black there with that bit. And you can colour yours in however you see fit, right? And so now, we're going to start with the first bit. We're going to start with the head, right? Of the old man Wilson, right? And all we have to do, right? It's already drawn it here, right there. Is be able to draw 2 of these sort of straight lines, right? That's how we're going to start, okay? But I'm going to show you how to do it, right? Okay, so, sounds easy, right? 2 straight lines, but got to think this is the head, right? Now you look at Wilson, right? You look at Wilson now, okay? So, as you can see, shipmates, right? You don't want to make his head, right? Because that first bit lines we're drawing, right? Is this part of his head, right? So you wouldn't want to make that like half the body size, would you? You'd have a huge big head. I mean, he's got a big enough head as it is, right? So we want to make it proportional, right? So that's why we're going to go start up the top of the page and just right down there, right? So just that much of his body, right? So that's his body down there, all the rest, and he's got his tail down the back here. Remember, we're going to do his tail as well, right? So that's the other bits we're going to do. So, right? So that's what we're working. They're the proportions. Now you think about that when we go back to the drawing, right? Okay. Right? You see his proportions, right? These heads up the top there, and it comes back down the body. So if we do his head half the size, right? He's got this huge big head, and you're going to have a little body down the bottom. Just a little bitty body right there, right? No, but we don't want to do that, right? So let's say his head's about a fifth of the size of him, right? And he's going to be on a perch there. Remember, he's got a perch to sit on, right? So we'll start at the top, and we'll do maybe about a fifth of the page we'll do to start our head, right? So what you want to do is draw those 2 lines. But you're going to draw them at a right angle, right? Okay? So right angle is that one, right? The squarey one, right? Sorry, the squarey one, so like that. So let's draw that, right? So here it is. So we draw it down, we're gonna sort of set that right. A little bit off to the left-hand side there because this is gonna be near the front of his head. It's gonna go that way, you want a bit of space, so let's go about there, right? So let's draw a right angle, there we go. So we go down, about that far, and the same distance in a right angle that way, all right? That gives us the beginnings, all right? That was easy, wasn't it, right? Now we're gonna draw another line, another straight line like the one we got here, just another straight line. I said this one, it's going diagonal, right? To make it a triangle, right? So you make it a little right angle triangle, basically. So we get that point there, right? And you just follow it straight through down to make it there. There's your little triangle. Easy so far. Right, what's the next shape we wanna draw? All right, remember I tell you, it's all curves and straights. So we're gonna do a little half circle, right? So basically we're getting a point here, we're getting it to that point, we're taking it to there, like a little half circle, right? It could just be the back of his head. All right, here we go. So we're gonna do it round, right? If you're not happy, you can rub it out and start again, but I'm more or less happy with that, right? Now, what's next? Next, we're gonna do some smaller little circles, all right? Just little ones, all right? 2 little ones, all right? All right, one a little bit bigger than the other, right? And that's it. So we're gonna do them off the front here, right? So we do about half and half way, sort of thing like that. Maybe a little bit. So it's just that one, another one there. All right, there we go. You got that? 2 little half circles. Still pretty easy, I'm thinking, right? What's next? We're gonna draw another big curve, right? Okay, over here on the thing. Another big curve on my bit of scrap paper. You see I cut a bit out of that one there. Got a bit easier. So we're doing a curve like that. So where this curve goes, right? Because this is the beginnings of his beak, right? So it's gonna come out of the top of his head there, right? This is the top of his head. Just curving a curve down, right? Down just below his chin would be. Remember his beak? You look at his face, all right? Look at his face there. Curves all the way down, all right? Okay, so we're drawing this now. Here we go. So we're going big curve. All right, that's the beginning of a beak. I reckon that's the beginning of a beak, right? Now, we're gonna go the curl the other way, right? So we're gonna take it from about the middle of that guy there. We're gonna go a curl, joins it to there, right? And that's looking more beak-like all the time. Now, that's his top beak, but he's got a bottom beak too, hasn't he? All right? So we're gonna do another curl up, right? Keeping our curls going. But this one starts at the bottom. Remember that one's out of the top, this one's out of the bottom, right? So it's gonna go, ready. It's gonna go from the bottom there, and it's gonna curl up to almost touch that, because it's his beak, right? And then another curl, just to finish it off, curl back in, and there you go. Starting to look like a beak now, isn't it? Hey? All right, what goes next? Well, I think next up, right? You can do some colouring in, so we can actually see what the beak looks like, right? So we actually colour in this bit, right? The whole thing. You can see my lines because I draw it nice and firm, but if you colour in the whole thing, right? All this one colour, right? Not black, but a real colour, right? That. You colour all that in, right? You see I'm not much of a colourer. I failed in kindergarten. That's why I become a pirate. But there you go. That's his beak shape, right? Very nice, okay? And now to draw his eye, right? Eyes, a round shape, right? Essentially we're drawing him in profile because it's a bit easier, right? To draw him in profile. So we're gonna put his eye in. We're drawing an eye side rather than his patch side because, you know, a bit more personality than an eye. So what you want in this here up the top, right? Is where the parrot's eye is. You draw a circle. Beautiful. Oh, that's looking like a parrot already. I'm pretty happy with that. Are you happy with that? All right. Hopefully, you're in the center of the table here. You can see all that. I'm not over off the outer shot and all that because that would be a complete disaster, isn't it, eh? But you know, I'm not here for camera skills. I'm here for pirating skills. Arr, happy right now. We're going to do a few dots, right, for personality. So up in the beak, right? Dots, you know what dots are. They're just little spots like that, right? So let's put it in a spot here, right? Easy way to make a little mark here, right? It's a little thing you see with the parrots, like a little spot there, a little spot there, right? And we're gonna make a little center of his eyeball, right? So we can see him looking, because at the moment he's got lifeless eyes, which is a bit like Wilson. He can be a bit lifeless at times and all that kind of stuff, especially after a night out in the rump, but no, we're gonna color in here. So we put a little dot in there. Oh, and you see, look at that. he's got an eye there. That's pretty good, isn't it, right? Right, and now we're going to give that a bit more character in that eye by putting some more curves in. Remember our curves? So we're going to do some curves, under curves like this, right? And they'll just get bigger as they go along the triangle, right? So here we go. So if you start there close, and you go, oh, there's one, and that's two, and that's three. Right, oh, going well so far, isn't it, eh? There we go. Now you got his eyes, you got his beak, it's all coloured in. He's starting a little bit like a parrot, I reckon. What do you reckon? I think that's pretty cool. I think I could have done him more over this way, but you know, you win some and the other ones you don't quite win, all right? But that's still getting there. He's still looking very parrot-like. So you'll know that when you do yours, maybe you move him over to the centre of the page a little bit more. All right, oh, if you're doing it at the same time, you probably made the same mistake, so I'm sorry about that. But, you know, we're pirates, not drawers, but we're getting there. All right, so next up, we're going to draw a little V on its side, like that. See that little V on its side, right? This is part of the decorative part of his hat, right? So, little V going out sideways from his hat, like that, all right? That's just, we're starting the decorative part of his hat, right? Because he's wearing, like me, see like this bit? He's wearing one of these fellas, you know? On there, right, that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have him dress like that. Because he wants to dress like me. And who wouldn't want to dress like me? I'm sure you do, right? All right, so we've drawn our little V, right? What goes next? We're back to doing curves, right? Because there's just a end there. So our little curves, right? Remember the curves, right? Well, we just join up the ends of the thing. So we join them up, right? So that's what we're doing here, right? So we're going to draw out of that, right? That's it. Okay. And now we do the same on the top of this one, right? So there it is. Cool. Now it looks like the ends of a hanky, like the hanky's been tied to your head, and you got the bit there tied, and that's your little knot there, like that. All right. So we want to make it a bit more decorative, right? Like a spotted one, right? So we make it spotted. The easiest way, so you're not drawing all the spots, right, is just to use spots off the side of the page. So you just draw little U shapes again, right? So we had the little U shapes, right? But you do them on the hat, right? So look. If we do, you know, one there, maybe one there, you know, one there, maybe, you know, one here, and one there. Now, if we colour them in, like if I do it with a texter, I'm just going to do it with a pencil because I made enough mess with a pencil. All right. Okay, and this is, I would do this black if I was you, or you could do them a color if you want them color spotted. You do them black and then you can color in the middle bit, right? This bit in here, you could color that in a nice bright color, like a red or an orange or something different to what the thing, because that's your parrot making a fashion statement, isn't it, right? You just color those bits in, that's all pretty easy, isn't it? Just color them in. Look at that. Colored in. And look at that. There we go. He's a spotty little hatted piratey parrot. All right, which is a wonderful alliteration there. All right, so that's it. Oh, what else we need to do, right? Another little gun, a little loop, but more of an oblongy, ovally shaped loop, right? Because we want a little tonguey bit for him, right? Okay, so we're going to draw our little tongue in there, coming out, all right? Just gives a bit of personality. And we're going to color that bit in, right? So we just color that bit in. So this, again, just gives you a bit more personality. Because, you know, parrots are squawking and talking, so they want a little bit of a tongue there to do that. Just gives it a bit more personality and all that kind of stuff as we get into our parody person, all right? All right, now, next up, time for some more lines. These are the body lines, right? So they're going to be longer lines, and not like straight, they're going to be at an angle, right? Because, you know, bodies go out shaped like that, right? So we start at the bottom of the head here, right? That, because that's where I point. That makes an easy point to start, right? And we're going to say the body's going to go down to about here, right? Not that long. Just that. All right, so here we go. Okay, we do the same on the other side. Remember, starting here at the end of the hat. We go. And we make sure it's about the right same distance. There you go. You got a bit of a body there. But is it the body or is it one side of the wings? It's one side of the wings. So what do? We've got our little curls again, right? So we start at the top, right? And we curl down to join up at the bottom. That's it. Same thing on this side, right? All right, I'm going to cheat a little bit and bring that a little bit out there. Oh, there you got 2 wings, right? 2 wings, that's pretty good, right? Now you get your colour pencils and all that, and colour them in, right? So you can do that. I'm just going to just quickly do a little bit of shading with the pencil, just because, you know, I'm no artiste, and I got no pencils, but you know what I mean. So that's like that. All right, but you know, we need to see the chest of him, right? This is a good thing to do with your coloured pencils, right? But I'm going to do it again, we're just doing black and white. Is we're going to draw lines, across lines now, all right? Joining him to give him a bit of like stripies, you know, stripy look, all right? Because we think he'd look good stripy, don't you? All right, and we want these down his belly, right? So let's start him about here, right? I hope you can still see. Just move back underneath a little bit. Right, so there it is. Again, these don't need to be done with a ruler or anything. It's all freehand, right? Because, you know, when you're on ship, you know, you don't want to be spending your time doing relays. Again, if these are different colors, to make sure you get the, you know, it's the plumage. This is all plumage. All right, there we go. That's him there, right? Now, we've done those, right? Okay, what's next? Next up, we're going to draw his little toes, all right? You know, his claws. He's got little claws, right? Let's have a look at Wilson's ones. All right, now, shipmates. Remember, we're talking about his feet now, right? His little claws, right? So he's got 3 little claws down there, and the other one's curled up from the bottom, right there, and his little yellow claws, right? So that's what we're working on next, right? Drawing his claws, all right? But I can show you how to make them quite simple, like, all right? There you go. You've seen them, right? Okay. All right, now you've seen Wilson's one. So what they are little claws, so he's got them there. So we're going to draw 3 little things joined together to be his claws. They're the tops of his claws, right? So we're going to do that now. So 3 little loops. So you want them to go about 1/3 of the way, all right? So he's got a bit of a gap in between, all right? So you go 1, 2, 3. And you start the other one from the other side. So you go 1, 2, 3. All right, there we go. Now what you need, right, is ones from the bottom, right? But you're leaving a gap in between. I'll show you why in a minute, right? Okay. So you line her up, so you're pretty much under, and you go 1, 2, 3. And on this side, you go 1, 2, 3. All right, that's looking pretty good, isn't it, right? Okay. Now, what you need to do now is draw a line to join them up, right? So if you're drawing a line that joins them up, you go, right, you go drawing across to there, right? And let's go out this way a bit, and out that way a bit, right? Let's join them up, right there. Let's get down and join up, right? And we'll go out this way a bit, right? Now that, right, is starting to look like a perch, isn't it? Right? Okay, now what's next? So we've got the perch, right? We're sitting on the perch. It's not quite finished, is it, right? Because it's open on the end, right? So what we need to do is put like a little curve. So we're doing a curve that way, right? So we make a little curve that way. And then you put another curve that way, and it looks like a circle at the end, right? It looks like a stick then, doesn't it? Like a stick on there. And if you just do a little curve on that end as well, it looks like the other end of the stick, because perspective, right? So you're looking that way at it, and we see that bit and that bit there. That's how you get that shape, right? And because the stick's got a slit in front of it, he's just not floating, there's no tree there, we're going to draw a line down there. And that gives us the rest of, you know, his perch, right? Now, they look like funny toes, don't they? So what we need to do is, again, use our curving skills. Another little curved lines between there, right? Same here. Right, that's him gripping it, right? Got that, all right. Okay, we've done that bit, right? So what's left to do? You can put like little clawy shapes, you know, the shapes of the claws, like that kind of stuff on it. You can put little things on there to be decorative, right? And you can colour his claws in orange or yellow or some other colour like that for the parrot. Oh, Wilson's got yellow, but you know, it's artistic license, right? So that's easy. They're just curves again, just curves. It was all curves and lines, this one, all right? And now what we're going to do, right, is colour it in, right? Now and again, this would be a black one. If you colour in your perch black, then you get rid of that line there so it doesn't look like a join, right? So we go around, you've got to be careful around that. So we don't go into there, right? That's all that sort of stuff. But basically, you're going, again, not being a colourer. I'm sure there's somebody you're going, that's not how you colour, but I'm not saying I'm a sort of colourer. I'm just showing you some tricks, some crafty tricks on how to draw a pirate, a pirate parrot, all right? And you know, you can use these tricks by breaking down the bits and pieces, looking at all the lines and stuff like that. It's a way of just learning to draw, right? Oops, we're gonna be careful here again. All right, that's good. Just a way of drawing. I'm just going to colour that in. I'm going to leave the end white like that there too, or make it a different colour if you like, or make it a grey when you do that black, because it looks like shadow, just so it still looks like a stick, right? Anyway, that's that bit, right? You see it's doing that. I'm going to be right annoyed if I get this all finished and I find it's all off camera, ain't I? But there we go, and we go, looking like a parrot there, right? All right, now what else we need? We just need the tail. Well, again, let's keep it easy. We just do little strokes like that down the bottom, right? So remember, this is the back of him, right? So this is the back of him, so his tail gonna come down, you know, behind him. So let's say he's turned that way, so the tail starts like, you know, about here, right? So that's it. And then you can do this with colors on there. Just draw it down there, and that be his tail feathers. All right, there we go. And that, right, that there, be a reasonable facsimile of our mate Wilson the Parrot, right? So if you were like in your log and you were looking for the navigational aid that was a parrot shape, you'd see that and go, oh, a parrot. So even if you didn't know what a parrot was, you know what it looked like just by being able to draw it that well, right? Just by using, remember what we used, right? Were curves and lines. All you was just break it down into where we could put a line and where we could do a curve and a bit of colouring, and that is what you end up with. Arr. Wilson the Parrot. Our mate Wilson. Arr. And then, you know, when you finish, you can write your signature, a big, you know, Luke and Silly. All right. All right, there's my signature. All right, so I've signed it now. All right, so there it is. Another lovely masterpiece of Wilson the Parrot. And hopefully that's all on camera right now, okay? And in a minute, I'm gonna hold it up and show it what it looks like next to Wilson himself. All right, there you go. And here he is, there you go. All right, so not a bad facsimile for the old Wilson, I reckon, you know. Basically, you see that and think Wilson, you know it's pretty much him, right? So not a bad job for us, you know, preschool failures and all that kind of stuff, I reckon. But it's not a bad little way, just by doing lines and circles and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's our job, that's our class today. Drawing Wilson the Parrot, me first mate, me jolly first mate. Ah, there he is, ha ha. Nice fella that he is, right? And don't forget, you know, tail we're talking about, all that there. Lovely colour, but you colour yours in. Remember, look, even these all orange and blues and greens, all those pretty colours. But you make it whatever colour you like when you colour yours in. But for me, I think I'm off because it be Saturday afternoon, and I think it's time I took a break. Right, the old captain's been working hard on the old Beatrice here. So right now, I'm going to finish up. But as I always do, I'm going to whistle us out because one has to stick to tradition, doesn't I? Boy, I'll see you Monday night for some more pirate school.